All right, if you're working in the nonprofit world, you know better than anyone that time is your most valuable asset, right? So let's talk about a really powerful tool that can help you protect that time and, most importantly, get the funding your mission truly depends on.
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? You spend weeks, literally pour your heart and soul into writing this perfect, super detailed grant proposal. And then, weeks, sometimes months later, you get that rejection letter. It's a frustrating cycle, and it eats up so much time. But what if there was a way to sort of test the waters with a funder before you commit, 20, 30, even 40 hours to that massive proposal? Just imagine swapping that huge mountain of paperwork for a much simpler process, something that takes maybe 2 or 3 hours. Well, there is a tool that can do just that, and it can totally change your fundraising game. So that tool is called the Letter of Inquiry, or LOI for short. You really should think of it as the smartest first move you can make. And hey, this isn't about cutting corners at all. It's about being strategic, about focusing your energy where it counts, on the funders who are actually interested in what you're doing. Okay, let's just look at the numbers, because they really tell the story. If you send a full proposal cold, your success rate is, well, it's usually somewhere between 15 and 25%. But the success rate for an LOI, and we're just talking about getting invited to submit a full proposal, is almost double that. The data doesn't lie. This is just a much, much more efficient way to get your foot in the door.
So what exactly is an LOI? Well, think of it as your organization's elevator pitch, but on paper. It's a short, powerful intro that lets a foundation see really quickly if your project is a good fit for their goals. It's a win-win, right? For them, it weeds out the wrong applicants early. And for you, it saves you a ton of time.
Okay, so if you want to make this work, what actually goes into a winning LOI? Because it's not just a casual letter. It's a really structured, persuasive document. So let's break it down.
A really great LOI, it tells a story. It has a clear flow. You kick things off with an executive summary to hook them in. Then, you use a statement of need to show why the problem is real. After that, you get into your project and what you're going to achieve. And finally, you wrap up with a quick budget summary and a clear closing. See how each part just builds on the one before it? It all comes together to make a super compelling case. All right, let's be real. The executive summary is everything. No pressure, but you've got maybe one paragraph, 3-4 sentences tops, to grab that program officer's attention. If this part is weak, they might just toss the whole thing. It has to be sharp, it has to be specific, and it has to be crystal clear.
Okay, check this out. This is what a perfect hook looks like. It's so direct and it's just packed with info. Right away, it tells the funder who you are, how much you need, what you're going to do with it, and who you're helping. And bam, it even includes a key impact stat. There's zero fluff here, just a powerful, clear request. Now that gets attention.
Okay, next up, you've got to prove the problem you're solving is real, and it's urgent. You can't just say something vague like, children need help. I mean, that's not going to cut it. You have to back up your argument with hard data. Funders, they want to see evidence, not just an emotional story.
Here's another fantastic example of that. It uses really specific local data to frame the problem. In this case, chronic absenteeism. But then look what it does. It immediately connects that problem to a solution that's also backed by data. This screams to the funder, hey, we get the problem and we know how to fix it based on what actually works.
Now, this is probably the most crucial takeaway of all. Yeah, the problem is important, but your solution has to be the star of the show. Think about it. Funders already know there are problems out there. They're reading your letter to find out if you have a credible, effective way to fix one. So a good rule of thumb? Spend about 30% of your time on the problem and the other 70% on your brilliant solution. All right, so knowing what to do is great, but that's only half the battle, right? Let's flip this around and talk about what not to do. I want to go over some of the most critical mistakes to avoid. These are the common traps that can get a really good project rejected before it even gets a fair look. Okay, mistake number 1, and this is the absolute biggest killer of an LOI, being vague. Saying our program helps youth succeed means, well, it could mean anything. But saying our program increases school attendance by 22 percentage points, now that is a concrete, measurable outcome. Trust me on this, specificity is your best friend.
And mistake number 2, making big claims without any proof. I mean, which of these sounds more credible to you? This problem affects thousands of families. Or, in our service area, 1,247 families live below the poverty line according to 2024 census data. It's a no-brainer, right? Citing your source just makes your claim rock solid and shows you've done your homework.
Oh man, this next one is all about doing your homework. If you ask for, say, $100,000 from a funder whose average grant is only $25,000, it's just a massive red flag. It tells them instantly that you haven't researched them. It's probably the fastest way to get your letter thrown in the no pile.
And please, whatever you do, do not send a generic one-size-fits-all letter. Funders can spot a form letter a mile away, I promise you. All it takes is 1 or 2 sentences, just like the example here, to show them that you actually understand their mission and you've thought about why your work is a perfect match.
So, when you put it all together, you nail the core parts, and you avoid those big mistakes, the LOI stops being just a letter. It actually transforms into this powerful strategic tool. It really is the first step in building a genuine relationship with a funder.
And hey, when you get that awesome invitation to submit a full proposal, the best part is you're not starting from scratch. Your LOI is now your blueprint. That executive summary, it just expands to become your introduction. The statement of need, that becomes a whole section with even more data. You're not starting over, you're building on what already worked.
Okay, final step. Before you hit that send button, please don't let a tiny mistake sink all your hard work. Just follow a simple checklist. Try to submit a few days early, not at the absolute last minute. Proofread it yourself, and then have 2 other people proofread it. Seriously, and use a clear professional file name. These little details, they really do matter.
So you're probably wondering, okay, how many of these should I be sending? The goal here is definitely not to just blast out hundreds of them. It's all about quality over quantity. A good target is to aim for about 10 really high-quality, well-researched, and customized LOIs a year. That's where you're going to see the biggest bang for your buck.
But what happens if you get rejected? Look, don't think of it as a failure. Think of it as data. A rejection is just feedback in disguise. A lot of funders are actually willing to tell you why you weren't a fit, so politely ask them. Ask what could make an application stronger, and then use that golden advice to get better.
So, let's just bring this all home. If you want to master the LOI, it really boils down to 3 things. 1, be super specific with your data. 2, customize your letter for every single funder. And 3, keep the spotlight on your unique, powerful solution. If you do that, it is absolutely the best way to save time and seriously boost your chances of getting the funding your work deserves.
Because at the end of the day, this whole thing, it isn't just about writing a better letter. It's about being smarter and more strategic with your fundraising. It's about spending less time chained to your desk writing proposals and more time out there doing the work that actually matters, building a better future for the community you serve.